Nicole Kidman has made her first public appearance since her split from Keith Urban.
We've been through a lot together.
We've got a timeline for it now, and the time it's now.
For nearly 20 years, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban were seen as the ultimate Hollywood Nashville power couple, an Oscar-winning actress and a country music superstar who seemed to beat the odds and build a lasting love story. But away from the red carpets and public appearances, cracks were reportedly growing. Court records reveal Nicole filed for divorce after 19 years of marriage, while sources claim she worked hard to keep the relationship together. After the split, Keith's first major performance sparked talk online. Fans noticed no wedding ring, no tribute song for Nicole, and even lyric changes that some believed hinted at a different version of their story. Now the image of the golden couple has been shaken, and more attention is turning toward Nicole's side of the story. What made them one of entertainment's most admired couples, and what led to the end of such a high-profile marriage? Nicole Mary Kidman was born in Honolulu, Hawaii in 1967 to Australian parents who were living abroad at the time. Her father, Anthony Kidman, worked as a clinical psychologist and biochemist, while her mother, Janelle, was a nurse and educator. The family later returned to Sydney, where Nicole spent her childhood in a home that valued hard work and achievement. As a young girl, Nicole was extremely shy. Speaking in class often made her nervous, and teachers worried about her confidence. But she found an outlet through the arts. Ballet, drama classes, and youth theater gave her a way to express herself and build confidence. By her teenage years, her talent was impossible to ignore. As Australia's entertainment industry expanded, Nicole began landing acting roles, including a part in the 1983 cult film BMX Bandits. Her striking appearance caught attention, but it was her emotional depth and screen presence that convinced many she was headed for something much bigger. By the late 1980s, Nicole's career was taking off, and Hollywood soon came calling. During that period, she met Tom Cruise, a relationship that would become one of the biggest chapters of her life. The pair married in 1990 and quickly became one of the most talked-about couples in entertainment. For Nicole, the marriage brought huge opportunities, but it also came with major challenges. Scientology, Tom's faith, was often viewed as a significant part of their shared life. When the marriage ended in 2001, Nicole faced a painful transition. She not only lost her husband, but also experienced major changes in her relationship with their adopted children, Isabella and Connor. Friends later claimed the situation left her heartbroken and struggling with the loss of the family life she had envisioned. Those difficult years left a lasting mark. People close to Nicole have suggested that building a strong home and family became even more important to her afterward. That desire would later play a role when Keith Urban entered her life. Keith Lionel Urban was born in Whangarei, New Zealand, in 1967, the same year as Nicole. His family later moved to Queensland, Australia, where he developed a reputation as a restless kid with big dreams. His father, Bob, ran a convenience store and had a deep love for country music, despite it being far from the mainstream in Australia at the time. Bob encouraged Keith to learn guitar, and by age 6, he was already performing. Country music became more than a hobby. Its stories of struggle, heartbreak, and redemption gave him a sense of purpose and direction. While Keith's musical talent stood out early, reports have suggested that his family faced challenges, including financial pressures and household tensions.
So you and Nicole were singing recently. Was that a setup that she kind of heckled you from the audience?
No, because we went. She regrets it now. We were at this Spotify event where I was just playing a couple of songs acoustic off the record, talking about the album. Somebody was asking about this song called Parallel Line in the audience. So it's Ed Sheeran's one of the writers. He plays on it, and I'm talking about the song, and I'm talking, and from the back of the room, this woman goes, "Play the song!" And I was like, I know that voice anywhere, and of course it's my wife heckling me, basically. And so I said, yeah, will you come up and do it with me? Which I never thought she would do, because she's very frustrated, excruciating for her to do that. So, but she did. She got up and sang it.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
I mean, do y'all sing at home a lot together?
A little bit, yeah. Oh, that's footage of us there. It's a great shot of the back of me, isn't it? Goodness me.
Some believe those experiences helped shape his ongoing search for stability and success. As a teenager, Keith played talent contests and small venues, building both his skills and his image as a country artist with a rock and roll edge. Eventually, he left school to focus entirely on music. There was no backup plan. For Keith, music was the path forward, and he was willing to risk everything to chase it. By his 20s, Keith was already struggling with alcohol and substance issues. When fame finally arrived, it didn't calm things down. It often made life even more complicated. He moved to Nashville in the early 1990s, determined to make a name for himself, and after years of hard work, his breakthrough came in 1999 with his self-titled American debut album. Almost overnight, Keith became one of country music's biggest. Rising stars, fans were drawn to his guitar skills, signature look, and emotional performances. But behind the scenes, personal struggles continued. By the time he met Nicole in 2005, he had already spent time in rehab and was working to keep his life on track. There were constant concerns that his personal battles could threaten everything he had achieved. On the surface, Nicole and Keith looked like complete opposites, Hollywood glamour meeting Nashville grit. Yet what connected them was their shared history of hardship. Nicole was still carrying emotional scars from the end of her first marriage and the painful family challenges that followed. Keith, meanwhile, had experienced both success and setbacks while trying to overcome habits that had troubled him for years. When they finally met, both were entering major new chapters in their lives. Nicole had rebuilt her career after her divorce, winning an Academy Award for The Hours and earning recognition as one of Hollywood's most respected actresses. Even with her success, many believed she was still searching for the stability that had been missing from parts of her personal life. Keith was also rising fast in the music world, but the pressures of fame were intense. Constant touring, public attention, and industry expectations created challenges of their own. Friends and observers often felt he needed something solid to hold on to beyond the spotlight. Looking back, some fans see signs of both promise and future tension in their relationship. Nicole valued stability and structure, while Keith's personality was often described as more restless and unpredictable. Their connection seemed to offer healing and a fresh start, but it also brought together two people carrying very different struggles and expectations. For Nicole, entering another high-profile relationship came with risks she understood all too well. Nicole's marriage to Tom Cruise had shown her just how intense life under the public spotlight could be. With Keith, however, she reportedly saw something different, vulnerability and sincerity that connected with her caring nature. For Keith, Nicole represented both inspiration and support. Her discipline and success highlighted areas where he was still struggling, while her encouragement offered hope for a more stable future. Their life experiences had shaped them into complicated people carrying emotional scars. So, when they met in 2005, many saw it as destiny. But behind the romantic headlines, the reality may have been far more complicated. It was less a perfect fairy tale and more two people searching for healing at the same time. When Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban first crossed paths in 2005, the media quickly turned their story into a Hollywood dream. They were both Australians, both internationally famous, born in the same year, and both coming out of difficult chapters in their personal lives. To many observers, the timing seemed almost unbelievable. Their first meeting took place at the G-Day USA Gala in Los Angeles in January 2005, an event celebrating Australians working in entertainment. Nicole had already rebuilt her career following her divorce and was firmly established as an Oscar-winning actress. Keith, meanwhile, was becoming one of country music's fastest rising stars. When they were introduced, things didn't immediately take off. Nicole later admitted she wasn't sure Keith was interested at all. Although they exchanged contact information, months passed before he finally reached out. She later revealed that his hesitation nearly stopped the relationship before it even had a chance to begin. But once they connected, everything moved quickly. By May, they were being photographed together, and before long, Nicole was openly speaking about him in interviews. After years of intense public scrutiny, Keith seemed to offer something different. He came across as passionate, genuine, and refreshingly down-to-earth. Those qualities helped create a bond that quickly captured attention on both sides of the Pacific. For Keith, Nicole seemed to represent stability, elegance, and a sense of balance he had been searching for. By late 2005, he was appearing beside her on red carpets, not just as a guest, but as her partner. Their connection was clear, and the media quickly embraced the relationship. Many fans saw them as Australia's biggest success stories, finding each other far from home. In June 2006, a little over a year after they started dating, the couple married in a lavish ceremony at the Cardinal Cerretti Memorial Chapel on Sydney's Manly Peninsula. Nicole wore a stunning Balenciaga gown with a dramatic veil, while Keith's signature long hair completed his romantic...
Wow, that's a particular angle.
There's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with that angle?
I've heard of talking out of it, but singing out of it now. It's incredible. That's just a miracle. We have a little piano in the house, and it's nice to sit.
How small is it?
It's tiny. It's the little Schroeder piano.
It's
Yeah.
tiny. So Adam Rippon was mentioning that he saw you the other night at Time 100, and you smell good. Well, Nicole was saying you smell good. I think everybody was talking about how you smell, and then he smelled you and said you smelled good. I mean, is it weird that everybody had to smell you that night?
It was just odd. Nick and I love Adam. He's fantastic. And so we met him, and Nick was talking, and she said, "Oh my gosh, you smell great, Adam." And she goes, "My husband smells good too. Smell him." I'm like, So Adam leans in. He's like, "He does smell good." So later in the evening, there's the shot of us. Later in the evening, he was talking about his mom, who was such a beautiful, big influence for him. And he said, my mom always said to follow your heart and go for your dreams. And he says, and I met Nicole Kidman earlier.
Country star image. The event attracted major celebrities, but those close to the couple said the atmosphere felt personal and emotional. Reports described Nicole entering the chapel by candlelight while holding back tears. Keith later performed during the reception, adding another memorable moment to the celebration. To fans, it looked like the perfect new beginning after the challenges both had faced in earlier years. But the fairy tale image was tested almost immediately. Just 4 months after the wedding, Keith entered rehab to address alcohol-related issues. The news shocked many and placed intense pressure on the newly married couple. Media coverage exploded, with headlines questioning the future of the relationship. For Keith, the setback was difficult and deeply personal. For Nicole, it meant facing a major challenge at the very start of their marriage. Despite the attention, Nicole remained firmly by his side. She visited him during treatment and avoided turning the situation into a public spectacle. In later interviews, Keith credited her support as a major factor in helping him through that difficult period. Still, some observers believed there was more happening beneath the surface. Nicole had experienced painful losses and disappointments in previous relationships, and some felt she became deeply invested in helping Keith overcome his struggles. What looked like a strong partnership from the outside may also have carried emotional pressures that few people fully understood at the time. Nicole believed in second chances, and she believed in Keith. That commitment became a defining part of their marriage through both the good times and the difficult ones. Despite a rocky beginning, they spent the following years building a reputation as one of entertainment's most admired couples. Nicole continued taking on major acting roles, appearing in big productions like Australia, while also earning praise for dramatic performances in films such as Rabbit Hole. At the same time, Keith's music career kept climbing. He became one of country music's biggest stars, touring extensively and collecting major awards, including several Grammys. In public, their affection seemed genuine. Nicole often spoke warmly about Keith, while he regularly thanked her during award speeches, sometimes becoming emotional in front of large audiences. Together, they projected the image of a strong and lasting partnership. Behind the scenes, however, balancing two demanding careers was not always easy. Keith's touring schedule kept him away for long periods, while Nicole often worked on film projects around the world. Reports suggested they made efforts to stay connected, including limiting how much time they spent apart, but scheduling conflicts remained a challenge. Family became a major focus for Nicole. After welcoming their daughters, Sunday Rose in 2008 and Faith Margaret in 2010, she devoted significant energy to motherhood. Keith was known as a loving father as well. Though balancing family responsibilities with the demands of a music career was not always simple, over time, many people viewed them as proof that love could survive fame. Public appearances and family photographs helped strengthen that image, presenting a close-knit household that seemed untouched by Hollywood drama. Yet, some reports suggested their relationship faced ongoing pressures. Keith's long-term commitment to sobriety required constant attention, while differences in personality and lifestyle occasionally created friction. Friends and insiders sometimes hinted that challenges existed beneath the polished public image. Even so, they kept moving forward together, determined to protect the life they had built and the love story that so many people admired. That early intensity may have helped bring Nicole and Keith together, but it also meant they never fully slowed down to address every challenge that emerged along the way. For years, they maintained the image of a couple who had overcome the odds, a former rebel finding stability and a devoted partner standing beside him through it all. What few people could see was that the same fast-moving energy that fueled their romance may also have made it harder to deal with deeper issues. The fairy tale image looked strong from the outside, but pressure was quietly building behind the scenes. By the time Nicole and Keith reached their 10th anniversary, they had already faced challenges that would test many relationships. There had been Keith's rehab stay shortly after their wedding, long stretches apart because of work commitments, and the demands of raising 2 daughters while living under constant public attention. Even so, they remained a symbol of resilience. Throughout the mid-2000s, however, rumors about possible tension began appearing more often. Reports and speculation focused on busy schedules, lifestyle differences, and the strain of balancing personal and professional responsibilities. The couple consistently pushed back against those stories. In interviews, Nicole often spoke positively about their relationship, while Keith regularly praised her support and strength. Together, they presented a united front whenever questions about their marriage surfaced. Still, people close to them occasionally suggested that the pressures were real. Some reports claimed Nicole felt exhausted by constantly managing emotional challenges within the relationship. Others suggested Keith disliked being viewed as someone who always needed help or guidance. According to those accounts, both wanted something different. Nicole admired Keith's sensitive side, but sometimes worried about its impact. Keith appreciated Nicole's strength and success, but may have felt overshadowed at times. Those differences created a complicated dynamic that required constant effort to navigate. Yet, despite the rumors and growing pressures, the public story remained largely unchanged. To millions of fans, they were still the couple who had survived every obstacle and proved that lasting love could exist in the spotlight. Few people realized how much work it may have taken to maintain the image Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban presented to the world. They were more than a celebrity couple. They had become a symbol of hope for fans who believed love could survive fame, distance, and personal struggles. Every red carpet appearance, family photo, and public display of affection helped strengthen that image. Over time, however, living up to such expectations can create pressure of its own. The story people admired so much may also have become a burden behind closed doors. Their different parenting styles reportedly highlighted some of those challenges. Nicole, shaped by her own family experiences, was said to value structure, routine, and protecting her children from the spotlight. Keith was often described as more relaxed and easygoing, taking on the role of the fun parent. According to reports, those differences occasionally created tension. Some insiders claimed Nicole sometimes felt her efforts were being undermined, while Keith reportedly felt he was being judged too harshly. These were not dramatic public disputes, but smaller disagreements that can slowly build over time. As the 2020s began, media speculation about the state of their marriage became more frequent. Stories surfaced about demanding schedules, time spent apart, and lingering concerns connected to past struggles. Despite the rumors, Nicole and Keith continued appearing together publicly and repeatedly denied claims that their relationship was in trouble. Nicole often spoke confidently about their marriage in interviews, insisting they remained strong as a couple, yet some reports suggested that certain concerns never fully disappeared. Keith's long-term commitment to sobriety remained an important part of his life, and observers claimed worries about possible setbacks sometimes created stress within the relationship. According to those accounts, Keith may have felt frustrated if he believed he was being doubted despite his efforts. At the same time, some sources suggested Nicole grew tired of always feeling responsible for keeping everything steady. While their love appeared genuine, maintaining balance may have become increasingly difficult as the years passed. One of the biggest signs that trouble may have been brewing was the growing gap between Nicole and Keith's public image and the rumors surrounding their private life. While reports suggested they were facing challenges behind the scenes, they continued presenting a united front whenever cameras were around. Their red carpet appearances seemed more important than ever. To many fans, they still looked like the same devoted couple they had always been. Keith often held Nicole's hand, kissed her shoulder, and stayed close during public events. Nicole smiled beside him, maintaining the polished image people expected. Yet some observers felt those moments looked increasingly carefully managed. The affection appeared genuine, but there were growing questions about whether it reflected the full reality of their relationship. As speculation increased, every appearance was analyzed for hidden clues and possible signs of tension. Reports from unnamed sources claimed that long-standing differences had become harder to ignore. According to those accounts, Nicole sometimes felt exhausted by carrying too much emotional responsibility, while Keith allegedly struggled with feeling overly managed or controlled. Neither perspective was necessarily right or wrong, but the differences reportedly created ongoing friction. Friends and insiders occasionally described their relationship as a constant balancing act. Keith was often portrayed as someone who valued freedom and spontaneity, while Nicole was seen as preferring stability and structure. Those contrasting approaches may have become more difficult to reconcile over time. By 2023 and 2024, rumors about separate lives began appearing more frequently in entertainment media. Anonymous reports suggested the couple was spending increasing amounts of time apart, although neither publicly confirmed such claims. At the same time, photographs and public appearances fueled further speculation. Fans noticed that Nicole sometimes attended events alone, while Keith's touring schedule often kept him on the road. Interviewers also observed that both appeared increasingly cautious when discussing their marriage in public. Even so, they continued rejecting suggestions that the relationship was falling apart. Nicole frequently spoke about the effort required to maintain a strong marriage, while Keith continued expressing admiration for her whenever asked. But by the summer of 2025, reports suggested the situation had reached a turning point. According to those close to the story, the issues that had quietly lingered for years were becoming harder to overcome. Nicole was said to be spending more time focused on family and her daughters.
And she let me smell her husband, so dreams really do come true.
Yeah, right. It is a dream come true to smell you. He does smell good. If you ever see him, smell him. And he doesn't mind. You can go right up to him and smell him. And I've known it for a long time.
Yes,
we shot a perfume commercial together, and I think
we're going to do that.
I think we have to show everyone.
Yeah.
Stepping away from the growing media frenzy surrounding the state of the marriage. Meanwhile, Keith reportedly threw himself into his music, spending more time on the road and channeling emotion into his performances. According to sources, the decision to separate was not triggered by one dramatic event. There was no major public scandal or explosive confrontation. Instead, it was described as a gradual realization that the relationship was no longer working the way it once had. Reports claimed Nicole eventually reached a point where she felt unable to keep carrying both the role of partner and emotional supporter. At the same time, some sources suggested Keith had grown frustrated with the pressures and expectations surrounding the marriage. When news emerged that Nicole had filed for divorce in late 2025, citing irreconcilable differences, it shocked many fans. Others, however, felt the signs had been building for years. For nearly 2 decades, they had been viewed as one of entertainment's most admired couples. Their story had been built around resilience, loyalty, and overcoming challenges together. Yet the simple phrase irreconcilable differences hinted at a far more complicated reality behind the headlines. According to reports, the filing took place in Davidson County, Tennessee, where the family had maintained a home. While the paperwork itself was said to be straightforward, its significance was enormous. After 19 years of marriage, 2 daughters, and years of public devotion, the relationship had reportedly reached its breaking point. Sources close to the situation claimed Nicole struggled with the decision for months. She was said to be deeply committed to keeping the family together, particularly for Sunday and faith. But, as one reported insider put it, she eventually concluded that saving the marriage could not come at the expense of her own well-being. For years, Nicole had often been portrayed as the steady force in the relationship, the organizer, the planner, and the person helping hold everything together. According to those accounts, she ultimately chose a different path focused on her own future and her family. Reports also indicated that both sides sought an amicable process. Financial matters were said to be largely separate, while arrangements involving their daughters focused on shared parental involvement. If the filing marked a quiet turning point, public attention quickly shifted to Keith. Just days after the divorce report surfaced, fans noticed a detail that sparked fresh discussion. He was seen in public without his wedding ring. If the divorce reports had not already captured attention, Keith's first major performance afterward added even more fuel to the conversation. During a concert in Pennsylvania, on his High and Alive tour, fans closely watched every detail, turning what could have been a routine show into one of the most talked about performances of the year. Appearing on stage without a wedding ring, Keith immediately sparked discussion among concert-goers and online observers. Throughout the night, many fans felt his performance carried extra emotion, with moments that seemed to reflect heartbreak, frustration, and reflection all at once. One of the biggest talking points came during his 2004 hit You'll Think of Me. Fans noticed he appeared to change the lyric, "Take your space and take your reasons," to "Take your unreasonable reasons." The alteration quickly spread online, with many interpreting it as a possible reference to the reported end of his marriage. While Keith did not explain the change, it generated plenty of speculation. The mood shifted during Heart Like a Hometown, when images of Keith alongside his 2 daughters reportedly appeared on screen. The family-focused visuals created a more emotional tone and reminded fans that personal relationships remained at the center of the story. Observers also pointed out that The Fighter, a 2016 song often associated with Nicole, was missing from the set list. Some fans viewed the omission as meaningful, while others cautioned against reading too much into a single concert decision. Between songs, Keith shared stories about his early life and musical journey, reflecting on the support he received while chasing his dreams. The comments added a personal layer to an already closely watched performance. The speculation did not stop there. Online discussions also revisited rumors about Keith's reported friendship with guitarist Maggie Bohr. Although she was not present at the show, older clips and social media posts resurfaced, leading some fans to debate whether there was any deeper meaning behind their past on-stage interactions. No evidence publicly confirmed any romantic involvement, but the rumors continued generating attention online. This absence, combined with the noticeable set list changes, only fueled more speculation about what was really happening behind the scenes. By the end of the night, it was obvious that Keith's performance had become much more than a concert. It had turned into a public moment that left fans and media outlets searching for answers. The divorce reports and the emotional concert quickly dominated entertainment headlines. Tabloids rushed to frame the story from different angles, while fans analyzed every lyric, every appearance, and every new development. Social media exploded with theories as people debated what may have led to the end of a marriage that had lasted nearly 2 decades. For Nicole, the renewed attention reportedly brought challenges of its own. According to reports, she had hoped to keep the process as private and respectful as possible. However, the intense public interest made that difficult. During later appearances, fans noticed she was no longer wearing her wedding ring, adding even more discussion to an already highly publicized situation. At the center of the story was also the future of their family. Reports indicated that Sunday and Faith would primarily live with Nicole, while both parents would remain involved in important decisions. Sources suggested the arrangement was designed to provide stability and consistency during a major life transition. According to reports, Keith fully supported staying active in his daughters' lives, despite the practical realities created by his demanding touring schedule. Sources close to the situation have claimed that his relationship with his children remains extremely important to him, making the changes emotionally difficult. In the months following the filing, Nicole reportedly focused on family, work, and maintaining a sense of normalcy. Meanwhile, Keith appeared to channel much of his energy into music. Fans attending his concerts described emotional performances that seemed to reflect a man processing a major life change in real time. Whether this story represents the end of an era or simply the beginning of a new chapter, one thing is certain: Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban's relationship left a lasting mark on both Hollywood and country music. Their journey was filled with triumphs, challenges, devotion, and difficult choices that kept people fascinated for years. What do you think about the reported end of their marriage? Were the warning signs there all along, or did this outcome come as a complete surprise? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with others. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our next update.